Now, amid high tensions over North Korea's nuclear and missile programs, the U.S. military flew two Air Force B-1B Lancer bombers over the Korean Peninsula in a show of force on Tuesday.
Now, we have a researcher now joining us, Uche Igwe from the UK on phone. Uche, good morning. Dr. Uche Igwe, it's good to have you join us right now. I know you've been following the developments in the Korean Peninsula. The tensions seem to be increasing day after day. Are we getting really close to a nuclear war? Because the last time we had you here, you were suggesting that there should be some level of dialogue between both sides. But this doesn't seem to be working right now.
Well, I think that I still insist that regardless of the escalation of hostilities, that's clearly what is brewing. I think it is important to get devotees for international peace to rally around and ask both the North Korean government and the US government to stand down. I think that the impending nuclear war is an ill wind that blows no one any good, and it must be discouraged.
Is it further complicated with these leaks? North Korea hackers stealing U.S. South Korea war plans. How dangerous do you think these leaks would be, and how would it affect any preemptive plans to attack North Korea by the U.S.?
Well, I think that all these are all forms of provocation, and it just appears that the North Korean leader is hell-bent on testing what I can call his own capabilities. But I think it is also important for us to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that when North Korea is attacked, it is not only the North Korean leader and North Koreans who will feel the impact, and vice versa. And that is why I think that at this point, global leaders must raise their voices, to make sure that we avert what is, an impending nuclear warfare. Nuclear warfare is not something that the world can imagine at this time. It is not about North Korea, really, not even about the United States. It's about the world and the impact, of a nuclear war of such magnitude that, that they're boasting about, on global peace. That is what is my concern, and I think that's what is a concern of so many people. At the end of it all, it's not about North Korea, it's not about the US, it's about world peace.
All right, if we go back down memory lane, we saw the formation of the League of Nations after the First World War, and then it collapsed when the Second World War came, and the UN was established to ensure that this doesn't happen again. So in this case, we're expecting, or the world has been expecting, the United Nations to be very frontal with measures to prevent any kind of escalation. But we're not seeing strong and decisive steps by the United Nations here.
I agree with you strongly, and I think that my sense is also that, the issue of veto powers and the issue of funding and all kinds of things about the United Nations. I think that, my sense is that part of these can be the things affecting the inability of the United Nations, to take a decisive step. And that is really, really regrettable, because some of us expect that, when other countries in pursuit of vested interest, do reconsider speaking up, it is an opportunity for United Nations as a neutral arbiter to step in. We don't see that clearly beyond the sanctions that have imposed. The United Nations is the only organization at this point that the world is expecting to step in to, pursue dialogue and peace. And I think that, I want to also use this opportunity to call on the United Nations to step up. And I believe, other global leaders and other informed voices around the world should join me in saying so.
Absolutely. Uche Igwe, we thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Of course, like you said, it's not about North Korea or the US. The whole world is in trouble if that button is pressed. And Donald Trump continues to be vague as to how exactly he will react to this threat. He
said this is the calm before the storm. And there has been calls as to, can you explain that? What would the storm be? And there's a video that's gone viral on showing lots of military arsenal of the United States heading for South Korea. If there's anything, he hasn't been verified.
For the Korean Peninsula.
We just hope it doesn't get that bad. Countries have to settle.